Have you ever felt like someone is against everything you say or do, just for the sheer pleasure of attacking you? There's a story about a firefly that was being chased by a snake determined to devour it. The firefly flew frantically, trying to escape, until it found itself cornered, moments away from being caught. It asked the snake if it could answer 3 questions before being eaten. The snake, knowing the firefly had no way out, agreed. The firefly first asked, "Am I part of your usual diet?" The snake replied, "No." "Have I done anything wrong to you?" The firefly continued. "No," said the snake again. Finally, the firefly asked, "Then why do you want to catch me?" The snake answered, "Because I can't stand seeing you shine." No matter what you do in life, how good you are, how much you care about not hurting others, understand this: there will always be people who are against you. We've all encountered someone like that, a toxic co-worker, fake friends at university, or even someone within our own family. By embracing the practical philosophy of Stoicism, you learn how to deal with these people who envy your light, not through conflict or argument, but through intelligence and wisdom. Stoicism is considered one of the most profound and practical schools of thought, teaching us to focus our energy and strength on the things we can control, while learning to accept those we cannot. If you don't learn how to defend yourself in life, you'll end up being trampled, often by the very people who don't deserve to step on you. Being stoic doesn't mean being passive or holding grudges in silence. It means taking a firm stance and maintaining control over what you feel, thinking before you act. Get ready, because in this video, Voices of Virtue will reveal the 13 ways to defeat your enemies without fighting. But before we begin, if you find value in these videos, please give us a like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay updated. Now let's begin this powerful journey together. Are you ready? Number 1. Intentionally ignore. There's no show without an audience, and being ignored can be one of the worst feelings, so use that to your advantage. If possible, start by intentionally ignoring those who declare themselves your enemies, or those who simply don't like you. This strategy, although simple, demands high levels of self-control because you're consciously choosing not to pay attention to provocations, backhanded comments, malicious jokes, actions, or even the very presence of that person. Understand that the power some people hold lies precisely in their ability to upset us emotionally. Some individuals take satisfaction in provoking others, but when you start ignoring them, you automatically neutralize that power. You're sending a clear message. They have no influence over your emotions or your decisions. Their attempts to affect you become nothing more than that, just attempts. Be someone fully committed to your moral development. Don't engage in their fight. When you begin to ignore, your mind becomes free to focus on what truly matters. You create emotional and mental space to appreciate each moment of your life, to work toward your goals, and to concentrate on what you can control. Instead of having your energy drained by negative distractions or consumed by thinking for hours about what you could have said, how you should have responded, or how to morally destroy them, you begin to use that time and space for what truly matters to you. The strength of those who try to provoke or harm you lies precisely in how much importance and influence you allow them to have in your life. But only you can decide how much space they occupy. You can decide not to feel offended, and instead of falling into provocation, you can choose wisdom and non-engagement. This decision also protects us from the harmful effects of resentment and anger, and allows us to build resilience and a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Now, this doesn't mean denying or pretending life's conflicts don't exist. It means choosing not to get trapped in a situation someone else created. By walking this path, you become the architect of your own happiness and the guardian of your inner peace. Number 2. Solving problems without fighting is smarter than the other person. This means using your reasoning, creativity, and your ability to create strategies to truly understand the problem and find a solution without verbal confrontation or direct conflict. By doing so, you embody the Stoic virtue of wisdom, and you avoid problems before they even arise. India's struggle to gain independence from the British Empire is a powerful example of how it's possible to win by using smart strategies without physical violence. Led by Mahatma Gandhi, The Indian people chose peaceful protest over violence. Gandhi organized peaceful marches, strikes, and encouraged people to stop buying British products, especially salt, challenging laws that forced them to buy only British salt. These peaceful actions gained global attention, weakened the British grip on the Indian economy, and increased political pressure for them to leave. Eventually, in 1947, India gained its independence, and Gandhi showed the world the power of nonviolent resistance. Similarly, we can act wisely in our conflicts and avoid unnecessary risks. Gandhi was able to lead India to freedom because he had a macro vision of the entire situation. He thought in terms of the big picture, the weaknesses of England, what actions could pressure them to leave, how to do it peacefully, and how to use their own weaknesses as strengths. Using your head means learning to think, to see the full context. Had Gandhi chosen to fight physically, it would have only highlighted the Indians' lack of military strength, and thousands would have died. Instead, he transformed his people's weaknesses into weapons of intelligence, and he used wisdom to win. Winning with intelligence isn't just about skill. It's about understanding what motivates people to act the way they do. When you think about the consequences of your actions, you demonstrate that you have mastery over the situation. By doing this, you show yourself to be a true leader. Number 3, turn your adversaries into teachers. One of the core ideas in Stoic philosophy is turning adversity into a path. Instead of meeting your adversaries or enemies with only hostility, begin to view them as opportunities to grow and truly learn, as teachers on the journey of life. They test our limits, expose our weaknesses, reveal our vices, and clearly show us where we need to improve. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world during his time as Roman emperor, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Instead of reacting with anger, use these challenges to strengthen your resilience, wisdom, and virtues. When you're faced with rudeness and respond rudely in return, you also become rude. When someone disrespects you and you respond with kindness, but lack boundaries, you become someone who has no respect for yourself either. Train your patience, train your tolerance, and above all, train your calm. This way, the obstacle becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius also advises that when we feel the urge to criticize someone, we should stop and first reflect on our own flaws. Ask yourself, what flaw do I have that resembles the one I'm about to criticize in someone else? Sometimes we demand from others what we ourselves are unable to do. Thinking this way brings humility and empathy and helps us understand and appreciate the lessons our adversaries can teach us. Instead of feeding negative feelings or seeking revenge, be grateful for the growth opportunities they've given you, opportunities you might not have had otherwise. Change the way you see these people. Instead of viewing them as threats, see them as catalysts for personal growth and self-discovery, reminders of the challenges we face and the victories we've earned. As the ancient teachers would remind us, what would Hercules have been without all the monsters, battles, and challenges? He would have been just another ordinary man, forgotten forever. It was precisely his enemies that made him a legend. When you adopt this mindset, you completely change the dynamic of your relationship with such people. They may still dislike you, but you no longer care. You've stopped wasting your time and energy on them. Number 4, recognize that your enemy is not the cause of your suffering. The real reason behind your suffering doesn't come from the person you see as your adversary, your enemy, or the one you're in conflict with. It comes from how you judge and perceive each situation in your life. It's not their actions that make you angry or hurt you. It's the way you see and react to them that truly determines how you feel. That person, whoever they are, simply reveals what's going on inside of you. They show you where you're thinking incorrectly, where you're reacting emotionally when you don't need to. Your enemy reveals to you where you have unrealistic expectations, or where you're clinging to things you shouldn't. The Stoic masters, many of whom went from being slaves to becoming revered philosophers, taught something simple but powerful. It's not what happens around us that disturbs us. It's the judgments we make about those things. They challenged the idea that external events have the power to rob us of our inner peace. Instead, it's how we interpret these events that shapes our emotional responses. According to Epictetus, even when something bad happens, what truly matters is how we face it. This helps us recognize that our own perceptions and interpretations play a central role in how we feel. Stoic philosophers believe we hold the power to choose how we respond to anything, and that choice changes everything. When you realize that what bothers you isn't the person or the situation, but what you think about it, you gain the ability to shift your response and grow stronger emotionally without being dragged down by provocations. But make no mistake, this takes a profound perspective shift. It means no longer blaming the outside world, and instead taking full responsibility for how you interpret and respond emotionally. Rather than blaming others or harboring resentment, you begin to ask yourself, why did this offend me so much? Why did what they said make me so angry or irritated? Why did their actions hurt me this way? Think of your enemy as a mirror, reflecting back parts of yourself that need attention. Examine how you feel and why you felt that way. By changing how you see these people, you'll change how you deal with them, and even more importantly, you'll gain a deeper understanding of yourself. This wisdom brings an entirely new perspective. You start to think differently when you realize that your judgment is the key to your emotional state. Your judgment is the key to your emotional state. Instead of reacting impulsively, you cultivate a more balanced mind and develop the ability to respond rationally and consciously. And this paradigm shift brings more lightness and joy into your life. It helps you grow as a person because you understand that your strength and courage don't depend on anyone else, and you're no longer controlled by the actions, moods, or opinions of others. You unlock an immense potential for personal transformation. Number 5, choose greatness through forgiveness. Forgiving is an act of greatness. It's choosing peace over resentment and revenge. It doesn't mean switching sides, walking hand in hand with someone who hurt you, or inviting them into your home. It means choosing to free yourself from anger, pain, and bitterness. Forgiveness isn't about the one who hurt you. It's about not locking negative emotions inside your chest. It's not weakness. On the contrary, it is a sign of strength and inner nobility. When you forgive, you show that you control your emotions and that you shape your own destiny. It's a higher level of consciousness, one that accepts the reality of what happened, whether or not you understand why it happened. Forgiveness breaks the cycle of resentment and restores emotional and mental balance. When we let pride take over, we close ourselves off from the world and build barriers that prevent any kind of reconciliation. Forgiving is reacting to evil with kindness. The Stoic philosopher Seneca summed up the meaning of forgiveness beautifully. Forgiveness is superior to revenge because it shows kindness, while revenge reflects a wild nature. This wisdom highlights how forgiveness can be life-transforming as it's rooted in compassion and the awakened spirit. When we think about revenge, we're just reacting. We let others dictate our actions, and in a way, we remain victims. But when we forgive, we liberate ourselves and regain control over our own lives. Number 6, transform your relationship with your enemies. This means acting with kindness, understanding, and decency to trigger a positive shift, both in your environment and in the behavior of others. This way of addressing conflict encourages us to promote goodness, even toward those who try to hurt us. Of course, it's not easy to display this kind of greatness and behave in this way. So allow me to share a story with you. There once was a very wealthy man who decided to give a poor man a gift on his birthday. Ironically, he prepared a tray filled with garbage and dirt. But to truly humiliate the poor man, the rich man delivered the gift in front of all his friends and subordinates. The poor man, in his innocence, received the gift with joy. He kindly thanked the wealthy man and asked him to wait a few minutes because he wanted to return the gesture. The poor man disposed of all the garbage, washed and disinfected the tray, filled it with beautiful flowers, and gave it back to the rich man. Along with the tray was a card that read, "We give what we have." The best part of this story is its core message. You cannot expect people to give what they don't possess. Each of us carries emotional and moral baggage. Some people can only offer a tray full of trash, while others choose to give flowers. Choosing love over anger doesn't just benefit the other person, it helps you grow as well. It expands your vision and strengthens your moral character. In the story, the wealthy man tried to spread hatred and negativity, but his actions didn't shake the poor man. Instead, the poor man responded with love and kindness. Likewise, we too can rise above our base instincts and choose to act with compassion and grace. By doing this, you rise above petty disputes. You demonstrate that you're not just part of the problem, you're a fundamental part of the solution. The seventh strategy for solving problems without fighting is simple yet powerful. Confront the issue head-on. As Dr. Matt Murdock once said, an enemy not confronted tends to grow stronger. To confront someone means to have a direct and honest conversation. You might begin by saying, "I've noticed that you've been doing this and that, and I don't think it's right. I haven't done anything to deserve it, and I'd appreciate it if you stopped referring to me in that way." That's confrontation. Not physical violence, but assertiveness. It's showing that you're aware and will not tolerate certain behaviors. Now, of course, every situation is different. If the conflict involves your boss, the approach has to be more strategic. Confronting doesn't mean yelling or being aggressive. It means standing your ground. If you don't show firmness, others may walk all over you. That doesn't mean you go looking for fights, but when you demonstrate that you won't silently accept everything most of the time, people get the message and the situation doesn't escalate. If you accept disrespect once, it'll happen again, and again, and again. That's why it's essential to be prepared to stand firm when necessary. Number 8, focus on yourself. When we cling to thoughts of revenge or constantly replay past offenses, we inadvertently shift our focus away from what truly matters, our own growth and well-being. Consider this. Every minute we spend fixated on past wounds or imagining alternative scenarios is a wasted moment, a moment that could have been invested in self-improvement. Sometimes we hold on to the hope that those who've wronged us will one day regret their actions and offer an apology. But in reality, that hope often stems from a need for external validation, a desire to be acknowledged by those who hurt us. However, true value and validation must come from within. No external approval can replace the self-recognition and self-worth we cultivate internally. Prioritizing personal growth means taking responsibility for our own fulfillment. It also means letting go of concern for others' opinions and approval, especially from those who harbor ill will. Stoic philosophy teaches that we have the power to choose how we respond to any given situation. This gives us the ability to make deliberate decisions that align with our values. By embracing these teachings, we embark on a profound journey of self-discovery. On this path, we confront ignorance, embrace forgiveness, and cultivate love, breaking through the barriers that hinder our pursuit of virtue, wisdom, and ultimately happiness. Number 9, nourish your personal growth. Instead of focusing on defeating your enemy, direct your energy toward your own growth and development. For example, commit to practices that foster emotional strength, like daily self-reflection, writing in a gratitude journal, or regular mindfulness meditation. By investing in yourself, you follow the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, who wrote in his meditations, "True power lies in living in accordance with the nature of your being, which is rational." When you focus on personal development, you shift your attention away from negativity toward a constructive, empowered mindset. This doesn't just make you stronger from within, it gives you the calm and confidence to face your enemies without fear. Remember, the path of self-discovery is an ongoing journey, filled with endless opportunities to learn and grow. Stay open-minded and receptive to new experiences and insights that can help you reach your full potential. Number 10, practice self-compassion as a tool of inner strength. Instead of allowing self-judgment or harsh self-criticism to take over, practice self-compassion. Understand that we all make mistakes, we all face challenges. By embracing self-compassion, you offer yourself the support and kindness needed to overcome difficulties. Following the teachings of Epictetus, who wrote, "Do not be angry that things happen as they do. Accept that things follow the nature of things." Learn to accept your imperfections. Treat yourself with gentleness when life becomes hard. By doing so, You build a solid foundation of self-worth and resilience that will allow you to face your enemies with serenity and strength. Remember, self-compassion is not a sign of weakness. It is an act of courage, an inner force that helps you protect your emotional well-being and moral integrity in any situation. Number 11, build a strong support network. Creating a solid support network aligns perfectly with the principles of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that emphasizes the importance of inner control and virtue in everyday life. According to Stoic teachings, it's essential to surround yourself with people who promote wisdom and virtue, because doing so contributes directly to your own growth and emotional well-being. By having a reliable support system, you follow the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control, your relationships and your attitude toward them. Moreover, your connections with others can become a source of strength during difficult times, which is a recurring theme in Stoic teachings on resilience and virtue. The people in your support network can offer different perspectives and helpful advice, which aligns with the Stoic practice of seeking out multiple points of view and learning from the wisdom of others. This allows you to maintain a balanced perspective during times of conflict, a key Stoic principle for preserving inner peace and mental clarity. Your support network acts as a kind of emotional shield against your enemy's attempts to hurt you, reflecting the Stoic emphasis on protecting tranquility and peace of mind in the face of adversity. Thus, building a strong support system is not only consistent with Stoic values, it's also a powerful way to fortify yourself emotionally and confront your enemy without falling into negativity or despair. By surrounding yourself with people who offer love, understanding, and support, you live out the Stoic ideal of cultivating meaningful relationships based on virtue and wisdom. Number 12, practice gratitude and forgiveness. This strategy involves actively cultivating a sense of gratitude for the lessons your enemy may teach you and for the personal growth that can come from conflict. Even difficult experiences can hold positive value if you choose to use them as opportunities to learn and evolve. In addition to gratitude, practice forgiveness, not just toward your enemy, but also toward yourself, for any bitterness or resentment you may have carried. By releasing yourself from the burden of anger and grudges, you create space for inner peace and emotional healing. This mindset mirrors the teachings of Epictetus and other Stoic thinkers who emphasize the transformative power of gratitude and forgiveness. Number 13, the control is yours. You are the only one who has control over your emotions. When someone manages to affect you, it's because you allowed it to happen. No one has the power to destroy your peace, disturb your sleep, ruin your day, or take away your smile. No one can hurt you unless you give them permission, because the control of your emotions belongs to you. It's hard to coexist with people who try to hurt us for no reason. But understand, just like the snake at the beginning of this video, some people simply can't stand to see you shine with your own light. What truly defines who you are is what you feel and how you react to it. So it doesn't matter how many enemies you have. What matters is how many people you don't see as enemies and how many you hold no anger toward. What matters is not what others think of you, but what you think of yourself, no matter how many people try to bring you down. What truly counts is that you never try to bring anyone down. If your life isn't going well, it's not because of other people. It's because of your own perspective. What complicates your life isn't how much others dislike you, but how much resentment you hold toward them. Other people's bad intentions don't matter as much as how you feel and act toward them. You hold the power to change things in your life, including how much your enemies affect you. As Marcus Aurelius writes in Meditations, choose not to be harmed, and you won't be. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. If you made it this far, type in the comments, no one can defeat me. That way, I'll know who the true victors are, those who stayed with us until the end of this video. I can't wait to hear your stories of triumph, so make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and like the video. Before I go, I want to thank you for the constant support you've given to this channel and for all the loving and grateful comments. I hope to continue creating content like this in the future, so if you'd like to support Voices of Virtue financially, you can become a channel member and enjoy exclusive benefits. The link is in the pinned comment below. Now I recommend you watch these 2 videos here so you can keep learning about Stoicism and human psychology and continue progressing on your path of personal growth. Sending you a warm, powerful embrace. See you in the next video.